Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what's up? It is me, DocHoliday, once again bringing you some more professional Korean StarCraft casts, brought to you by, of course, StarCastTV. Hope you guys have been enjoying the videos on the channel so far. If you have, maybe give us, maybe give us a like on the video. Leave us a comment. Really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button, maybe even the bell icon so you get notified when we have new videos coming out. You know, all those things are very nice. I don't mean to sound like, your average YouTube shill, but we gotta get these numbers up, guys. Cruiser's putting so much into this channel. I hope you guys have been appreciating it. But today we have a pretty epic game gonna be between Light and Hero, two literal legends, some of the absolute pinnacle players of the Korean scene. So going to be excellent ZVT coming up for you in just a moment. Without any further ado, let's hop right on into it. Please enjoy. Alrighty guys, well in the top right hand corner, spawning as the brown Zerg, we have Hero. And in the top left hand corner, spawning as our nice, is that black or is it like a gunmetal? Let's just call it gunmetal, even though it's very obviously black. We have, we have of course Light. Alright guys, this is gonna be one of the highest skill ZVT matchups that you're even capable of seeing. These are some of the absolute best players in the Korean scene. I hope you guys are hyped. I know I am. I do love this name though. We got HoTube. It's a tube for hose. Certainly a fan of hose myself. Maybe I need to get myself a tube for them. Alrighty guys, well let's take a look at our build orders. Already we are seeing quite the non-standard build order here. Hero is throwing down a 9 pool, so going to be quite the action-packed start. And of course we are scouting the correct direction. So those lings are not going to see any kind of delay whatsoever. They're going to go right on into Light's base just at the very beginning. Now we do have barracks opener, so we don't have quite the absolute worst scenario with a CC first or anything like that. But even still, you know, this could be very dangerous. Alrighty, here comes the Overlord, and that is going to be the spawning pool popping too. Instantly, we have the Zerglings queued up. Here they come, guys. Looks like, though, Light is going to get the first scout, so that's going to be a lot of warning for him to try and make a defense here now at the ramp to the natural. So we should see something like 4 SCVs, 5 SCVs maybe, dogpiled up here on the top of the ramp, some repair, all that good stuff going on. We do have the extractor going down too, so likely going to see a layer follow-up, since we do have the natural as well. Very confused on where these Zerglings are going right now. Truly mystified. Alright. Yeah, that was a little weird. These Zerglings essentially giving up on any possibility of doing damage here. The longer the Lings take to get to the natural expansion, of course, the longer that we have to build Marines. Light even appearing a little bit confused, being like, where the hell are these Lings? Going and checking the natural just to make sure there isn't like a gigantic pile of them. But it does look like Hero has given up, at least for now, on doing any damage. And personally, I very much agree with this, right? The Lings are going to be a lot more useful later on in the game. Maybe when the mutas are out, going to provide potentially a little bit of additional damage and some buffering for them. But throwing them up the ramp against the professional Korean Terran, maybe the best I mean, pretty much the best Terran right behind Flash, right? So, I mean, you're not really going to get anything done anyway, so might as well just preserve their lives for now, see if you can get any utility out of them later. Okay. So the Lings now trying to block off this main base, of course not trying to allow the SCV to get up into the main to see the tech. Looks like we have very nice Overlord placement, going to spot the continued move out across the map here. Letting Hero know that the move out from the front of the natural isn't some kind of juke, and that the Marines are coming all the way across the map here. Looks like, though, Hero has played a very risky game, doesn't make any additional Lings, calls the bluff, and continues on with his builder like nothing happened. Alrighty, our Spire is getting close to that point here. Getting our second gas now, so that way we have just the right amount of gas to pop 5 to 6 mutas as the Spire finishes up. We're going to need to see 2 OVs here in a minute. So there's the first one, second one probably here coming shortly. Okay. So actually, not going to see the world's fastest mutalisks, interestingly. Gonna actually just focus on getting on a stronger economy. We still have drones coming up, actually, from Hero. So delaying the mutas for a little bit to get additional drones out. Interesting choice. We now have, looks like 4 mutas. Yep, 4 mutas now. And we're gonna get +1 flyer attack. So this is usually indicative of somebody trying to put on a lot more pressure with the Mutalisks. Usually you're going to be going for Carapace if you're going to be just using them as a transition tool to get eventually over to Hive. But with the placement of the 3rd hatchery in the main and the +1 attack, it's likely that Hero is going to be going for a very all-in style of Mutalisk play, going to be sticking on 2 bases for a very long time, looking to try to do a ton of damage and win the game right here with the Mutamicro. Alright, Mutas come in, instantly find a turret up top at the ramp. These turrets, of course, here protecting a very vulnerable location. Marines have to kind of go single file up and down these ramps, and that makes for a very nice hunting ground for Mutalisks to be able to pick them off as they line up and not are able to shoot all at the same time. We have 6 mutas now. That is going to be enough to start coming in here and doing damage potentially to Marines. 7 going to allow them to kill SCVs in single shots. And 8 is about the count that you're start to be able to fight turrets a little bit more. Oh, 4 Marines in that bunker, though. We're going to lose 1 muta, and that is unfortunate. Got a little bit of damage done here, though. Slows down the factory a little bit. Gets a couple of these working SCVs as well. And the real important part of all that is that getting in there just like that allows Hero to see everything in the main and discover any potential points of weakness where mutas can, you know, continue to come in and do damage. So let's see. It looks like this is gotta be Queen's Nest, right? Yeah. Alrighty, so actually not committing to a huge flock of Mutalisks here right now. We're getting, looks like Carapace as well going. So my guess at this point is we're going to continue to use these Mutalisks to do damage and slow down the Terran. And while we're doing that, we're going to be saving for Ultralisks here. Of course, these creep colonies at the front as well. Very, very strong indicator that we're going to be going for just a 2-base hive play. Also, a really strong indicator is not having a 3rd base. But yeah, so things looking pretty good so far. Hero's delayed kind of like his production of Mutalisks for quite some time. Instead, focusing on the infrastructure, getting a strong economy, getting everything moving towards Hive, and now has invested in that nice 11 Mutalisk flock. And with +1, they're able to 2-shot the turrets and do just tons of damage. Hold positioning to be able to shoot 2 Marines down at a time. Things just looking very strong overall. The Mutamicro excellent. Light being forced back to his base to try and defend versus this, knowing that mutas with +1 and, you know, 11 of them all grouped together. Very deadly combination. We're even just poking here at this factory so that the glaive bounces are killing individual marines that are standing underneath it. Good number of zerglings starting to pile up here. Gonna be very powerful once adrenal glands get started and we get that crackling upgrade. Looks like we have a second evolution chamber as well, so highly likely that we're going to be seeing double upgrades for these Ultralisks as they come out. I'm going to be looking to put on a very, very strong attack off of 2 bases to try and kill this Terran. Marines continuing to get picked off as these mutos fly in with very, very clean micro. Surprised we haven't seen a move into the middle of kind of the main here to kind of slow down potentially the generation of the science vessels. Picking off those building SCVs can be very annoying. We have a very mean Terran guy here. Last apparently just killing innocent bystanders for no reason. Very rude. But alright, so third base has been established down in the bottom right-hand corner. Quite a delayed third base overall. But we did have a very, very fast move to Hive. Gonna really need to get that third gas established if you want to just have continual production of Ultralisks. You can also go for the Defilers, but you have to choose between the two until you're able to secure 4 bases. This is a very interesting style. Very long delay here on the third base, while we just tech to a very fast Hive instead. Of course, Hive units on 3 bases going to do a very nice job at being able to defend versus these small contingents of Marines that come across the map. Looks like we have our first Defiler on the field as well. Consume just about to be done here. And with some cracklings on the high ground, should be very, very safe versus any kind of aggression at any of the bases here right now. We do have vessels on the field, and of course that is going to be potentially very irritating to deal with. Can't lose too many of our mutalisks to irradiates, but you have, in predictable fashion, a very, very quick, very, very strong micro to split them up very nicely. It looks like we have already a snipe on one of these science vessels. What an excellent, excellent muta control here. That is a really nice pickup very early on. Every vessel is so precious to Terran. All those irradiates, super duper important. But alrighty guys, so we do have a double drop coming over here. Kind of almost unnecessary since there aren't any lurkers. Defiler hides away inside of the Nidus Canal for a second for some reason. But here we go, Ultralisk with +1 armor and the armor upgrade. Going to be particularly tanky underneath the Darkstorm since you can't hit them under there. But overall still pretty strong. Let's take a look how the upgrades are matching up. So, very, very big plague. That's insane. We do get the Nidus Canal, but these units should be able to be cleaned up for the most part by these Ultras. Whenever you have equal upgrades on the Ultras and the Marine attack, the Ultras just live for forever. These 2 Marines, though, just doing work here in the middle line. There we go. Yet another science vessel goes down. And these Marines should be just about done here. The micro is going to be a little annoying since, of course, the medic's able to really be very irritating and not allow Ultras to attack very well. But we have yet another contingent of units now coming down here to the bottom right-hand corner. We have double Irradia on these Ultralisks. They do have a nice amount of HP, so it's going to take them quite a while to die. But with such a small army coming down here, the Irradiate may actually contribute to the efficacy of the Ultralisks in the defense. Looks like the Nidus attempts have just continued to be cancelled, though, but I think this should be enough cracklings on the field here with the upgrades that they have to be able to stop this army from cancelling this base. Most importantly, we have continued to have 3 drones on the gas the entire time, so continuously able to produce these Ultralisks pretty healthily. In the meantime, though, drop in the main base, really clearing out a large number of the drones here. Looks like most of them have evacuated to the natural expansions, though, so not a horrific amount of damage, but as you can see, very, very low saturation overall for all of these bases. 30 drones on the field right now. Light doing a very, very nice job harassing multiple locations at once, doing a lot of damage here. The only real problem that I foresee for Light right now is taking fights with Ultralisks is going to be incredibly difficult, as they do have what you would consider an upgrade advantage. I mean, it's not strictly that they have the higher upgrades, but rather that being even on upgrades against Ultralisks makes them just ultra powerful. So these Ultralisks going to survive for forever, taking out a bunker at the front of the natural expansion. Look how little damage they're able to do to these Ultras here. Irradiated Ultra running around here. Good micro though from Light. Good crisis management. Not going to allow the Ultras to do too much damage here. And that's a pretty expensive unit to lose for a couple of Marines. Alrighty guys, well, Hero looking pretty good here so far, continuing to be stable despite the relentless attacking efforts here of Light as it comes across the map once again. Light really wants to secure this 4th base. Once you get 4 gases, that's really where Zerg is able to take off. 4 base Zerg, you can throw on a bunch of macro hatcheries. Oh my gosh, these drops are relentless. But yeah, 4 base Zerg, you're just able to produce so much. You're able to really make those very powerful Defilers and Ultralisks at the same time. You're not really worrying so much about your gas anymore. And of course, the mineral mining that you get allows you to produce just huge numbers of units here. We have an alright Plague here, but very little units here at the front, actually. Not a huge number of bio units here at the front either. I think the Ultras, with the assistance of the Sunken, should be able to stave this off. Unfortunately, that is yet another dead Nidus Canal. That's like the 4th one this game so far that's been taken out here. So that is very irritating, as it just makes it so difficult for the Zerg to be able to defend all the locations that they have to at the same time. More and more Ultras in production. Very few, as you can see, Defilers really being produced here. Producing them as sparingly as possible, trying to use most of our gas on the Ultras. Ooh, nice little snipe on a fresh vessel here. Vessel count kind of starting to get out of control. We do have a consume on an egg, which is a trick that I think a lot of people are unaware is even possible. But it does do a nice job at trying to help protect this Ultralisk on the ramp. Unfortunately, lots of bio units once again making it through. And this looks to be the end of the bottom right 3rd base here. 2nd Ultralisk comes out here, but there are a lot of Marines here this time. And despite the very nice upgrades on the Ultralisk, doesn't look like there is enough units here to stop this from going down. But it's going to be close. The Marines could focus this down and take this out. Medics really, really well placed here right now, stopping the units from getting on top of the Marines. But it looks like just barely are we able to once again hold on to this incredibly important 3rd base. We do have another contingent of units once again heading now over to the natural expansion. The action is literally just everywhere. Oh my gosh. As soon as Light is done attacking one spot, he is at another one, and just barely any units here once again at the front. Oh my god, we're going to need to go back and just count how many Niduses have gone down here. And we do have the irradiated science vessel trying to clean up tons of these drones. This is massive. As you can see, the economy for Hero just plummeting down to 21 drones here. Oh my gosh. Light's aggression is completely relentless. Even a 4th base coming down now, as our Zerg player Hero is just struggling to even keep his 3rd base alive. We are down to 13 workers now. Oh my gosh. We're even using buildings to eat Scourge. Like, things are looking so bad. These dropships and the erasers and all of the Relentless attacking at every base, sniping off all of the Niduses, has just made this such a nightmare for here to try and keep up with. Massive army once again heading down to the bottom right. Do we have, once again, the Niduses? Oh, we finally have learned our lesson. Nidus is placed in the back of the Sunkens this time, just in time for here to give up and lose the game. Wow, what an incredible game. Light is looking unstoppable. Of course he really is, though. I mean, he is just so goddamn good. Man, what an amazing game played by both of our players. I hope you guys really enjoyed that one. Stick around and check out the channel, guys. Follow and hit that bell icon so that way you get notified of any new releases here on the channel. I love you all so much, and thank you for checking out the video. Take it easy, guys.